So this is this lesson I promised you a long time ago. But I'm still having trouble. I did like 8 takes of this thing, okay? And none of them, I can't get across what I learned in 5 minutes once. And I'm trying to, okay? I'm trying. Oh. Mama. Hey, here's your guitar lesson. All in one lesson. There are 2 things. Think mathematically. Think about the math up here, the math down here. I swear, Judge, he's not stoned. So, onward with our lesson while choo-choo train rings in the background on WTON. Good night. That's my new station. It's got me. Anyway, so the simple guitar lesson is the following such, and such is the mode that we will stay in. I have to make the background for this really bizarre to make the actual lesson worth something. I don't know why that is, but I ever pay attention to the hair. Hey, not this hair, the giant bunny hair that you can't see. I know it's been a long time. They just let me out. They didn't let me out. I never went in. So the lesson that we take from today is key and progression. Key is a circle. Math. And all the notes repeat. Isn't that confusing? Forget about the other levels of life, okay? You're just on one frisbee flat level right now with me. Oh, it's hard to believe I quit drinking, isn't it? Oh, my goodness. Anyways, there are only 7 notes. 7, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? So everything is about how they relate to one another. Maybe that's the takeaway. I see it differently. I see it as a certain design and how these relationships occur. And all I want to know are the fundamentals. What note is that and what key is that? And then I do what I do. And I've just taught myself the jam. Is basically what I tried taking lessons once. It did not stick. And by the chance jam session with a keyboard player who was in the marching band in the high school, I think, or some sort of band thing at high school, told me what it was. It's a key and a progression. The key is the notes you're going to use. And I gave you that lesson to your riff or your part of the song. What note is that? You see? So you're going to work from like 3 different notes in that circle of only 7 notes. You're going to put up some sort of triangle, is what I'm trying to say. The triangle of truth. A, D, and E, for example, right? All of blues, a lot of old, like centuries old religious singing. The ear likes it, okay? So it's a good place to start. It isn't the truth. You have to play the blues or you don't have to play anything. Just play whatever comes out of your fingers, right? So somebody might say A and I go. But I didn't just do that right out of the gate, but that's A, right? And I talk about this key concept, like I said, A, D, and E, right? So what you do might be as simple as strumming the chord, or it might be what I just did. But it's all like, while that's happening, A is underneath all that. Well, if you think A, D, E are, for example, a particular combination, then you might be looking for something in D to do. So I can go from So that sounded good because I was following some basic rules. But you can do whatever you want, okay? Don't take anything away from anybody. Now, the way I moved through that thing, like I might have gone to that thing next, right? That first chord was a D, all right? A D, so I went to that relationship, A to D. I chose to do some other stuff right afterwards, but it worked with the D, okay? But then ultimately, I'm gonna go back to this riff because it sounds kind of groovy. Okay? But it's easy to wear out even something good when you're writing a song. So think about the relationships. Right off the bat, if my first riff is in A, I might say the song is in A, the key of A, which means, okay, now we're looking at a certain construct, okay? If A is the root note, what are your typical options? It's a good way to get your feet on the ground. You're like, oh, that's why they're doing this and that. But you might be into something else and, you know, whatever. It might be strumming that A chord, or it might be playing something that all resides in A. Right? See, I was able to sing that note before I even went to that other chord. And that's D. There's A is the key. So you maybe start in A. The point is that everything's sort of resting on this bedrock of the A part of that triangle. But you have available the D and just totally obviously the E. First, D. And your choices that you make as you bounce around these different fundamental notes of your key, okay, the choices that you make, when I went from here to there and then I went here back and then I went there twice again, that's called the progression. You can do whatever you want there too, but that's what that's called. Because when you're sitting there jamming with some people, they're going to say, what key? And you're going to go, well, I think it's in the key of A. You know, but see what you come up with. But we're going to do that, and then they're going to say, "Where's the beer?" That's the lesson. That's the best I can do. I tried a bunch of times to do this lesson. Keep on jamming.